Hello everyone, Dr. Mike here. I wanted to share a personal story this morning, and it was something that was quite shocking to me that happened just a few months ago. And it's not the most flattering of pictures that I'll share with you here shortly, but it shows me in a hospital. Most of you know I've devoted my entire life, from the 70s, I'm dating myself, but from the 70s forward, I have devoted myself to developing a healthy lifestyle. Very disciplined about organic eating, and my diets have always been very clean throughout my years, through my experimentations. Quick and to the point, I found myself in heart palpitations, sweats, and significantly reduced energy 3 separate episodes within 1 month, and recognized because of my training that I was in trouble. In fact, if 3 things show up that are very similar, that are very uncomfortable, meaning symptomatology-wise, it's time to take a careful look. And so I did. I went to a cardiologist, and he promptly shared with me that I likely have a genetic defect of the heart after looking, of course, at taking a number of tests, looking at the echocardiogram and the EKG and a number of other procedures they sent me through, which I won't even mention. I found myself in the medical paradigm, one that I respect but don't necessarily participate in very often, only because I've been very healthy all my life. Well, the conclusion that the cardiologist reached after sending me through a number of processes and procedures was that I, in fact, had a genetic defect of my mitral valve. So, in fact, I was experiencing what's called mitral regurgitation, which means the blood is passing 2 ways instead of just 1 way through my heart out to my lungs. Serious condition. He said I probably have maybe 2 or 3 years at best to live, and that I would require open heart surgery. After he shared that with me, besides being in shock, I was scratching my head, recognizing that I had to put get my papers and my life in order, but I knew I was headed for a very serious operation. The good news is that I came through the operation in flying colors, but what I want to share today with you is there was a reason for that. And that was the healthy lifestyle I had lived and established through my entire life. And in particular, there were a couple of products I wanted to make sure you know about that I know saved my life. And I'll point those out to you right now. But before I do that, I want to say this. Don't ignore signs and symptoms that are clearly where your body is ill at ease. Certainly seek out a specialist. Also, make sure that you understand what you're getting yourself into. You're literally signing consent papers, and once you walk into that hospital, you are basically their property. They have to do, per all the laws and regulations, they have to do what they need to do. I'm only saying that because I learned to respect the medical profession even more so. I'm a chiropractor. I'm an alternative medicine practitioner. For me, their model is very foreign, yet I found myself now completely submerged, and here I was moving through all these procedures. I won't even detail them, but it was absolutely shocking to me. So, having said that, the cardiologist needed to determine that my coronary and carotid arteries were clean in order to do what is a less invasive surgery. Typically, for open heart, they do a sternotomy. They crack your sternum. They did not have to do that with me. In fact, I have a picture where they went in through my rib cage, and it's called a mini, or a less invasive, minimally invasive procedure. Now, the reason they were able to do that was because the cardiologist, after doing the heart catheterization to determine that my arteries, both my coronary arteries and my carotid arteries, were squeaky clean. For my age, he said he's never seen anything quite like it. As well, my weight was perfect. I'd never drank or smoked, so comorbidity factors were less. Now remember, this is time of COVID, and just a few months ago. And I'm being frank with everyone. I was petrified going into the hospital. There could have been any number of things that could have moved the direction of the needle in one way or another. I trusted. I leaned into the experience with courage and bravery, no doubt. Surrendering. Surrender is the big word here. But it wasn't easy. And now I moved through the surgery. I'm on the other side of it. The first few weeks were tough. Trust me, the recovery is hard. But the good news is that just 6 weeks later, the cardiologist basically discharged me saying, you don't need to see me for another year. Now, I want to just talk about the two products that I set them on a pedestal because of my experience now. One of them is called Power Shake. I've been drinking this every morning for the last 7 years. Now, yes, the rest of my life, I've also been focused on a healthy lifestyle. Let me just show it to you real quick. It's this product. I won't rest on this information for too long, but I want you to just see it's this product. It's green food. It contains a number of constituents that are able to cleanse the body, and essentially it's a gentle cleanse, and it's ongoing, and it's every day, and it made a difference for me. And so it was discovered, because when you do a heart catheterization, it's exactly what they determine is how clean your arteries are, to then determine what the nature of their surgery will be. And as I explained, they did not have to crack my chest open. They simply went through the rib cage. No less dangerous operation. And as I mentioned, he was giving me 2 to 3 years to live. But he said I could go through this operation, and this is where my respect grew, obviously, for the medical profession. He said I could have a spectacular result. That was one of the products. The other surprise to me came when he said, I'm discharging you. I don't need to see you. In fact, if you want, you can come see me in another year. How did you recover, was his question. How did you recover so quickly? And that, without question, has something to do with a plant-based protein. They're tablets, and I was taking many of them, a group of them, every day for 1 month going into the surgery, and every day coming out of the surgery for 1 month. I took that product, by the way, also for the last 7 years. Why? Because everyone needs to have a protein of this nature. This is an incredibly unique group of essential amino acids. As you know, we don't make them. We need to bring them in either through dietary protein or through a supplement like this. This supplement, however, is unique in this way. It brings those amino acids into your body that repair and rebuild smooth muscle tissue. Keyword, smooth muscle tissue. So it was my heart that needed the repair and rebuilding, of course, along with other tissue-associated smooth muscle tissue. So, key point, it stimulates body protein synthesis. So the antibodies, enzymes, hormones, neurotransmitters, all of which are proteins to a large degree, are being supported in their production by taking this simple product called Super Amino 23. So all I'm saying is, I guess I am plugging this product, because if you want it, direct message me, or you want to learn about more of it, I can go into much more detail. But these two products that I mentioned, absolutely without question, saved my life and significantly reduced my recovery from open heart surgery. So I'm grateful. I'm extremely grateful that I'm here to speak to you about it. I'm grateful to be sharing with you something that I did in my own lifestyle that without question affected the outcome of this very serious surgery. And I'm really pleased to be able to continue to talk and speak with all of you about healthy lifestyles. We need to keep doing it. We need to keep on it. We need to take responsibility for this temple. I do it without question every single day. I ask myself, in fact, what can I do right now to maybe up my energy, or reduce something in my diet or lifestyle that may be toxic. These are questions that, as you begin to self-govern and self-care, self-love yourself, become so important. So I'll leave it there. I don't want to go on too long, but it was very personal. It was also very daunting and shocking to look in the mirror and address my mortality curve, and then come through it. And now actually I feel better than ever. I have these walking poles that I use now. I'm hiking probably 10x the distance I was prior to my surgery. And I'm just grateful to be sharing all of this.